This is Becca Baxter from St. Andrew's with a reflection on Jesus praying in the garden. The reading is Matthew chapter 26, verses 36 to 46, and I am using the Message version. Then Jesus went with them to a garden called Gethsemane and told his disciples, "Stay here while I go over there and pray." Taking along Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee, he plunged into an agonizing sorrow. Then he said, "This sorrow is crushing my life out. Stay here and keep vigil with me." Going a little ahead, he fell on his face, praying, "My Father, if there is any way, get me out of this. But please, not what I want. What do you want?" When he came back to his disciples, he found them sound asleep. He said to Peter, "Can't you stick it out with me a single hour? Stay alert. Be in prayer so you don't wander into temptation without even knowing you're in danger. There is a part of you that is eager, ready for anything in God, but there's another part that's as lazy as an old dog sleeping by the fire." He then left them a second time. Again he prayed, "My Father, if there is no other way than this, drinking this cup to the dregs, I'm ready. Do it your way." When he came back, he again found them sound asleep. They simply couldn't keep their eyes open. This time he let them sleep on and went back a third time to pray, going over the same ground one last time. When he came back the next time, he said, "Are you going to sleep on and make a night of it? My time is up. The Son of Man is about to be handed over to the hands of sinners. Get up. Let's get going. My betrayer is here." I saw a picture of Jesus struggling and praying alone in Gethsemane, and the thoughts he shared with me were these. They should have been praying, not for me, but for themselves. It's going to look to them as if everything has come crashing to an end, all their hopes over, because they don't understand what I've been saying to them. It will be as if I have gone forever. They're going to be like sheep without a shepherd, worse than before. And he went on, "It was then that I was at my most human, alone, desolate, knowing what I faced, horrified because I knew it all, yet wanted so desperately what could only be achieved by my death, that you, my dearest ones, should never experience that utter desolation of loneliness, that you should always know that I am by your side. I will never abandon you, sleep, or grow weary. You will never face those moments alone as I did. You are not abandoned. You are not desolate. You are not alone. I have gone there, so you don't have to. When you feel most alone and abandoned, I am there beside you always." I have 3 awful memories of times when I stood in a school playground feeling desolate and alone. Once at 5 years old, rejected by the other children, standing at the side watching them play. Once when I was 10 years old, and the girl who had bullied me for years and from whom I had at great cost escaped came at me again, wearing the guise of friendship. And once at 53 years old, on the day my child left the school where they had been broken. I didn't see it so clearly when I was a child, but by that third time I knew for sure that I wasn't really alone. My friend and saviour, the one who knew just what it felt like, stood beside me. 3 times with terror and foreboding, I have faced something that I desperately did not want to do, knowing full well that the Lord had the power to get me out of it. Humanly speaking, we were completely infertile as a couple, yet the Lord had promised me children. After years of heartache, I finally accepted his guidance and embarked on IVF treatment, while all the time begging him for a different way. The effects of the treatment and subsequent twin pregnancy combined to break both my body and my mind. Years later, I undertook the treatment again, and it completely failed. Then, praying for the strength to follow his will back into what I most feared, I went through it a third time until the job was done and our family was complete. He got me through it, providing everything and everyone I needed, and through it all I knew the Lord's presence with me, saw him weeping for me in my times of desolate, fearful, desperate petitioning. It was that moment in Gethsemane which was often in my mind and which gave me comfort and courage, because no one knew how I felt better than he did, and because he understood it so well, he was truly with me. There is something intensely precious about the way Jesus shared those experiences with me, not as a sympathetic bystander, but suffering alongside me out of his own deep personal knowledge. Because of that moment of Jesus's utter humanity, we can trust that he isn't and never will be a distant God. From his own experience of friendlessness comes the most perfect friendship we will ever know. In that garden, he faced and made the choice to die for us, because it was the only way for him to reach us, to save us, to befriend us, and to complete his family. Jesus, Emmanuel, is the God and Saviour and friend who is always with us.